The purpose of this tutorial is just to focus on using the different notations for translations and making sure that we use them properly. So let's take a look here at this. These problems do not come from your practice packet. You don't have these. These are different ones that I made up, so you can just follow along here. Notice this description is given words. We want to take the point and translate it 4 units to the right and 1 unit up. So my final point, my U prime, should be right there. Let's make sure we can also describe this using arrow notation. This is just us practicing. Arrow notation always starts the same way. X and Y in an ordered pair with an arrow. So it's saying take your original ordered pair, and now is when we look at our translations. The amount you go right and left, that's what affects your X. Right is plus, left is minus. So if we're going 4 units to the right, our X's get increased by 4. And I hope that makes sense. Take a look at our original U. The coordinates of U are -3, -4 to start. The coordinates of U prime are +1, -3 to finish. So from the original X to the translated X, we added 4. -3 plus 4 gives you 1. Then for the Y coordinate, it's going to be a Y on the back. Up is plus, down is minus. So if we go up 1, plus 1. There's the arrow notation for this verbal description. And it works out. -4 plus 1 is -3. There you have it. For this next one, let's walk through the translation. So XY goes to X minus 7. So that's 7 spots back. 6, 7. And then Y plus 3 is 3 spots up. Here is our P prime. Let's just take a look at the coordinates again. This one starts at 3, -4. And then P prime ends at -4, -1. So from start to finish, 3 minus 7 gives you -4. And then -4 plus 3 gives you that -1. So this is literally telling you what the new coordinates should be. Let's make sure we can describe it in words. X minus 7 means you're going to move 7 units to the left. Plus on an X is right, minus on an X is left. And now let's go vertically. Move 3 units. Plus on the Y means up. Minus on the Y means down. I want you to be able to use both notations. So for the rest of these, we're just going to practice going back and forth between the notations. So do a quick pause. Try to turn this into arrow notation. Unpause when you're ready to check. Arrow notation always starts the same way, XY in parentheses with an arrow. 6 units left means I want to subtract 6 from my X's. Now, it doesn't say anything about up and down. That means the Y doesn't change. It's going to just stay the letter Y. Let's take this one now and translate it into words. X minus 3, do a pause if you've not tried this one already on your own. So this means we're going to move 3 units to the left, minus on an X is to the left, and 1 unit minus on a Y is down. There you go. Next up, this one again is written in words. Do a quick pause. Translate it into arrow notation, please. So start with XY in parentheses and the arrow. 2 units right is going to be a +2 on the X's. 3 units down is going to be a -3 on the Y's. Here then, we've got arrow notation. Our task is to turn it into words. Please do a quick pause if you haven't already. First thing I notice is that nothing happens to the Y. That means there is no up and down this time. All that happens is X's are increased by 2, so everything moves 2 units to the right. And there you have it. Let's wrap up now with these two. Now here, the task is to describe the transformation. We're going to do it both ways, with arrow notation and with words. Make sure you always start at the original and end at the translation. So look for where your primes are. Where you see the primes, that's where you're finishing. Then just pick one of the points. So I'm going to start with S. It ends up at S prime. So what I see is I move 2 units to the left, and I move 2 units down from S to S prime. So I can write that just in words. Move 2 units left and 2 units down. In arrow notation, always start with an XY in parentheses with an arrow. Left to be a -2. Whoops, and I closed off my parentheses too soon. I needed to put a comma instead. And then for the Y, down 2, that will also be a -2. And there you have it. The words and the arrow notation communicating the same thing in a different way. If you've not already done this next one, do a quick pause, try it yourself in words and in arrow notation. I'm going to use point B, start at the original and end at the new one. So end at the one that has the prime. I've got to move 1 spot to the left and 3 spots up. So move 1 unit left and 3 units up. Notation-wise, XY in parentheses with an arrow, that's how your arrow notation always starts. To go left 1, that's a -1 on the X, and to move up 3, it's a +3 on the Y. So I hope that this helped clarify a little bit how to use those two notations. You will be expected to know both.